Hello, my name is Lynda Cronin, and I'm going to speak about a piece in the City of Ottawa's collection called Beyond the Limits of the Skin. It's photographs, there are 4 photographs of a young torso, and it's rotating in space. It's in black and white, and then the text over that reads Beyond the Limits of the Skin. And just in front there's an aluminum shelf, or aluminium shelf, and on that there are objects, a snail and 2 acorns, sort of enlarged acorns. So in a sense it is a result of a piece that I was working on a number of years ago, an installation piece, and it's from 1999. So it talks about, in a sense, the changing perspective of youth, in a sense. I mean, at that stage I had young children, and many of them were in my pieces. So I used the torso of one of my children in that. And at that time also it was sort of interesting, because you're trying to, the youth is trying to identify themselves, so they're rotating in space. So you're trying to position yourself in terms of an identity. And at the same time, what was happening at that stage were various satellite images coming back from the astronauts, the shuttle, for the shuttle spaceships. They're coming back of these huge, omniscient sort of images of land and water, and they were all coming together. And there were no territories, there were no divisions, there were just sort of this big landscape. And so I suppose, in a sense, what I was thinking was I was trying to mesh these 2 views, the omniscient view and the Terra Firma view of walking on the earth, of the wind blowing through wind through space, and connecting the Terra Firma physicality with this omniscient view, and trying to mesh the 2 of them together, and trying to imagine what that young torso, in a sense, it has. Historically, you can see it in terms of the Greek torsos. How will that torso identify with the new space, the new sort of identity, and that's sort of some of the ideas. And then, of course, the Terra Firma was represented by the snail. So in a sense, there's motion in there as well, because if you look at it, the torso is slowly rotating in space. So that torso is looking through, 360 degrees around in that space, and at the same time, that is reflecting, in a sense, the sort of the technological look at the world, and the speed and the shuttle, and how it created these photos and all of that technology. And then in contrast, you have the slow trail of the snail as it sort of moves along the ground. And then you have the historical references of the 600-year-old oak trees in terms of the acorn, which is from the white oak tree. So in a sense, it's an assemblage of ideas, and when you sort of put them together, you might come up with a different kind of concept, each individual as they look at it. And so that was the intention. That was what I was thinking when I was putting it together. But when somebody approaches it, I think they can have a different kind of interpretation, because it is an assemblage, and it's an assemblage of ideas brought together to reveal a different kind of identity, in a sense. And so I was contemplating those ideas, and I thought they were interesting sort of things to question and imagine, and that was the result of that particular work.